We have come so far, and today, together, we celebrate our potential to go much farther still.
In 2009, John Hanawalt graduated at the top of his class. He hoped to go far as a graphic designer.
I really think that I graduated at that sort of shift where everything sort of fell apart for the economy and people were sent scrambling.
Like many of his fellow classmates, he needed to adjust.
Currently, I'm the graphic designer for Fenway Health in Boston, doing all of their print communications.
He is one of many recent college graduates who is doing good in a bad economy.
This piece is the first project that I did for Fenway. On a day-to-day basis, I'm working on projects that have to do with HIV prevention, homelessness, just getting health care for those who are having trouble finding it.
It wasn't the original plan for Stonehill College's class valedictorian.
When I graduated, I thought that I might move into an agency setting with either an advertising agency or a PR firm. I found that a lot of agencies weren't hiring for my skill set.
He wasn't alone. New census data not only confirms that more young college grads are turning to public sector jobs, but pinpoints the exact shift. While the classes of 2008 and prior were heavily recruited by the private sector, 2009 and 10 graduates were not. Applications for nonprofit and government jobs from those graduates soared.
Probably about 5 years ago, we hired a web designer, but it wasn't anything like what happened when we advertised the graphic design position at the end of last year. It was really overwhelming. There were a lot of people who wanted that job.
So there's an incentive there to take this and interact with it.
And while nonprofits benefited from the talented applicant pools, the new hires recognized the rewards as well.
There's this historical message that when you work for a nonprofit, you go in every day knowing the mission of the organization, and you know exactly how what you're doing contributes to that mission.
But in addition to being psychically rewarding, the jobs often offer greater experience and exposure.
Some of them are pretty thematic.
John is our graphic designer. He's in charge of all of our graphic design projects.
So these are all some of the printed pieces that I've designed for Fenway so
You may not
far.
find that if you're in the corporate world. You might be stuck doing really basic and boring jobs for the first 5 years or so of your career.
I think the biggest difference between a nonprofit and private sector work is sort of the lifetime earning potential. But I also think that even that's changing as nonprofits sort of expand and take on bigger roles.
I think we should do their logo.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to bump that.
And Mr. Hanawalt had one less consideration than many of his classmates.
Remarkably and thankfully, I am debt-free. My mother works at the college that I went to, and so I was able to attend for free.
Still, the question remains as to whether these recent grads will stay in their new careers or be lured back to corporate positions as the economy recovers.
Here I get to wear a lot of hats. I have a hard time imagining myself passing that up for what would probably not average out to be a lot of money.